Hello, welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's Mace, coming to you from beautiful British Columbia in wonderful Canada. And today we're checking out a video. It's discussing kind of the political tensions between the USA and Canada right now. All brought on by President Trump, mainly. This video is titled "Buy Canadian Movement Having Ripple Effect on the Retail Market," because Canada's going to be looking for new trading partners and new trade deals and just new people to trade our products with, and vice versa. And I saw a comment that I saw a comment on one of my videos there about how in Germany there's not that many Canadian products, or they wish that there was more. That particular person, they wish that there was more German products, and that they would love to be bathing in maple syrup. Bathing in maple syrup. I don't know if I'd like to bathe in maple syrup. It'd be a bit of a sticky situation. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a sticky situation, bathing in maple syrup. I don't know if I'd like that. But I don't think Trump quite understands, how badly the U.S. is alienating other countries around the world, and how other countries around the world are going to respond in terms of trade and just doing business with the States. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that you have even normal big media personalities talking about how, oh, you're not Canada? Let's just take Canada. We'll take Canada. Yeah, let's go in. Let's annex Canada. They'll be 51st state. Da-da-da. You have so-called media personalities that would describe themselves as liberal or left-wing, and all of a sudden they're right-wing imperialists talking about just taking over other countries completely flippantly. When they get called on it, they're usually like, oh, it's just a joke. But you don't really joke about annexing country. Like, I mean, you can joke about whatever you want, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get called out on it. And all I can say is Canada and Canadians, well, I can only speak for myself, but I do not want to be an American. I do not want anything to do with the States. Yeah, so they can, and it's all bluster and bluff from Trump, but it's still scary nonetheless and annoying. And I think a lot of the people, I mean, the scary part is the legions of Trump voters and the legions of Trump apologists and fans within Canada itself that, oh, I'd love to be part of the States. Then we'd pay less taxes. We'd pay less taxes and we'd have guns. Shut up. Shut up. We do not want to inherit the Americans' gun problems. Let's just say that. Canada, for all its faults, we got it pretty good. We're doing a pretty decent job. There's things to fix up, of course, like any country, but let's just get into this video. Canadians boycotting American products and the real-world effects of the real-world economic effects, because there's a lot of border towns that I used to go to when I lived closer to the border. I would go to the States like once a week, get gas, get food, but a lot of people ain't doing that, and the Americans are going to be feeling the effects of Trump's policies.
Canadian movement has become a huge force in the last week alone, changing how and where people shop.
A vast amount of people are only purchasing made in Canada products.
Grocery store owners like Marilyn Dibb are astounded by just how quickly Canadians have dumped American products in the wake of President Donald Trump's tariff.
Canadians, famously, we're nice and polite and compassionate, but we'll also stand up for ourselves strongly. So,
Tariff threats.
They are completely boycotting the American-made product.
And at the Canada-U.S. border, officials are reporting a huge drop in southbound traffic at some ports of entry. In Blaine, Washington, near Vancouver, wait times were just 5
So this is actually the port of entry I used to go through often.
minutes, down from the usual 19
5
minutes on a Sunday, let alone Super Bowl Sunday. All of that has some U.S. lawmakers furious with the president.
It unnecessarily harms a relationship with Canada that's been such a good relationship.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says Canadian demand for bourbon has dropped off in the wake of Trump's aggression.
Most Americans didn't vote for the president on these issues. They don't view Canada in the way that he does.
I like that he said that, because that's true. Like, most Americans didn't vote for it, and most Americans don't agree with it. So, and, you know, Germans, people around the world, our other Commonwealth countries, just any country that stands for democracy, honesty, forthrighteousness, like.
Neighboring Illinois does big business with Canada too. It sent $30 billion worth of goods north last year.
Did I say forthrighteousness? I mean, just countries that believe in being forthright and courageous and democratic, fair.
A lot of it was food. Trump's put that in jeopardy, says this congresswoman.
Just making it that much more difficult for our farmers to keep their heads above water. It's very serious.
Minister Anita Anand is working with the provinces to quickly dismantle decades-old trade barriers between provinces to help the economy along if Trump delivers a blow. Canada needs to become more self-sufficient, whatever the president does in the end, she says.
Every one of us wants Canada to remain strong and free, and we are prepared to do whatever it takes to ensure that occurs.
Some Canadians have soured on the U.S., and Trump's latest threat to impose steel and aluminum tariffs won't help. The country's 13 premiers are headed to Washington this week, though, to smooth things over, part of a diplomatic push to get Trump to drop the tariffs for good.
And while the premiers have said they're committed to Team Canada, some still have demands for the federal government.
Yeah, Alberta Premier Daniel Smith is demanding Ottawa appoint the fentanyl czar right away. Last week, the Prime Minister promised Trump he'd get one in place to help crack down on the deadly drug.
Fentanyl czar. Okay, first of all, there's not very much fentanyl, like, in the scheme of things that go Canada to the U.S. It's primarily coming from Mexico, I would guess, or by other means. And Canada's population is tiny, and I think the amount of people, that was one of Trump's complaints, that, you know, people are coming into Canada as a gateway to then, you know, get into the U.S., but the amounts that he's talking about are totally insignificant.
Hasn't happened yet, and Smith is not happy about it. Ontario's Doug Ford is also concerned. He wants the czar named now to show the Americans that Canada is taking Trump's concerns seriously. Ian?
JP Tasker in Ottawa.
All right, interesting. We'll see you on the next one. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss. See ya, baby.